Hello and welcome to the LA Venture Podcast. We're David Waxman and Minnie Ingersoll, partners and investors at TenOneTen.
Hello, jumping in on the intro to plug my own thing. I am helping to line up speakers for the Innovate Pasadena group, and we have Haley Kuhn from Alexandria Ventures this Friday, Abba Nath from Wonder Ventures, then Brent Baltimore from Graycroft the week after. Point is, you should all check out Innovate Pasadena's Friday Coffee Morning Series, and I'll see you there. Okay, back to the music. Dun, 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 dun. It really bugs me. Or let's go straight to the interview with Peter, which I know I'm biased, but I think it's a really good one. Hey, Peter, thank you so much for inviting us over. I used inviting a little bit in quotation marks because I think you just reached out and said, hey, Minnie, can you come over? And I was like, yeah, I'll come over and bring my microphones and bring David. Let's catch up.
You came to town. You didn't say hi. I was offended.
You know what? I'm kind of embarrassed, actually. I've walked by 1,000 times and never been in here. And it's huge and it's lovely. And so I'm super interested in learning all about what goes on here at Science and learning a little bit more about you.
Yeah. What do we want to talk about today?
Let's start a little bit with your background.
Sure.
And thank you, by the way, for the liquid death.
That's right. We here are enjoying and murdering our thirst with liquid death.
Yep.
So we have a startup studio here in LA, Santa Monica, 3rd Street Promenade. I came 6 years in the Bay Area. I'm actually from, call it Orange County, Southern California. I was supposed to be a doctor, pre-med. That didn't work out. And I've been doing startups for pretty much my entire career. I would say that having a couple exits under my belt helps, we can walk through that, but also lots of failures and things, and realizing that being a serial entrepreneur means you can do one at a time. And you do one, and then a couple years later, another one, and later. And as you get older, you realize, like, how many could I actually be a part of? And how do I solve that curiosity of wanting to build? And so Science, the studio, where we do lots of companies at once, was born. So going backwards a little, first 5 people at PhotoBucket back when MySpace only allowed 6 photos on a profile, which is crazy to think about. 6 photos. That's it. So you want to upload a 7th photo? You got to delete one.
Wow.
That's right.
Different mindset.
Can't even imagine. We became the largest photo sharing site because of that. This is back when Facebook was 30-something employees. Stephen Chad was starting YouTube. Stuart was doing Flickr, and Evan was doing Bloggers, like old school stuff. And we were lucky enough to be kind of the only ones doing photos in that way, and rode the wave on the platform, MySpace. Sold to MySpace for $300 million back in 2007. I moved back to LA after having opened up the office up in Palo Alto for a couple of years. 2-year earnout, 9 months in, I'm like, I can't wear a badge. I just can't do it. Moved back to the Bay Area, founded Bill Shrink, was CEO this time. We sold that to MasterCard, was an EIR twice at Trinity, realized, investing in a big firm is not my thing, but I like the idea of investing, but I really like building. Had a big a big failure in between that, which is Color. Raised a ton of money, the lesson of raising a lot of money before product market fits, not really knowing your founder as well as you think you do, right? It's marriage forever kind of thing until, if you break up, the company breaks up. And that lesson is kind of a lot of the things that I take with me in Science. So Science is a startup studio. It's 4 founders. We've known each other for a very long time. Mike Jones, who was the CEO of MySpace. Before that, some private equity. But before that, back when I was doing PhotoBucket, he was doing a company called Userplane. It's like web chat on the web. Crazy. AOL bought it. Tom Dare worked with him on some private equity deals. And Greg Gilman, founder, teaches entrepreneurship at Pepperdine, is a lawyer. So we started Science, and we said, you know what? Do founders really know what to do today, tomorrow, this week, next month? Generally, no. Can we help them get there faster in the world where speed matters, and be involved at day 0 through, I would say, 12 to 18 months were pretty deep.
But you're still a studio whereby, you called it a startup studio, right?
Yeah, I say that because if I said the word incubator, people think Y Combinator. And so it's not a program. It's not 90 days. There's no program. There's no start and end dates. We become part of the team, right? We think of us as the shadow management team. So founder, in most cases, has the idea. And maybe there's a co-founder, but there's been a couple. And let's figure out what we're doing. Like, do we build a prototype, or do we build Facebook ads first? Do we even set up a bank account yet? Do we even form the Delaware C? Most times we don't even form the Delaware C Corp yet. These things around audience building, customer acquisition, marketing, brand building, driving users. Like I would say the DNA here is if you want people to buy your thing, if you want people to subscribe to your thing and use your thing, that's us.
You're kind of the opposite of TenOneTen in a lot of ways, right?
100%. The funny thing is,
that's we want users to use it, but we're not like Urban Remedy is not something you find in the TenOneTen
You're science. The thing, we call ourselves science.
Yes.
It's interesting, right? But we don't do science. But we do.
You do.
So startups are part art, part science. The science part is the operations. It's the data. It's the analytics. It's the measurement. It's the daily reports. It's like, are we doing it right every single day in measuring? And like the financial modeling that Tom and his team does, we have like a 3-person finance team. It is crazy. Like at a seed company, we have models that go forever.
Sure.
So you started this, just to back up a second, in 2012, right? It felt
October 2011 at the lobby in Hawaii. But yes, 20
is when you launched it. Okay. How have things, it feels to me from the outside like things have changed quite a bit, and one would expect that they'd evolved quite a bit since you started.
A little bit, but I would say that same but different only because we now have a fund. So we started off as an opco, so LLCs, the operations. Because if you said, well, we raised $10 million initially, how do you get office space, hire a bunch of people on $10 million? If the audience doesn't know, you get 2% fees. That's not a lot of money. Right. It's $200,000 a year. How do you staff 10 people in an office? So it was an operating company. So that was a $10 million balance sheet. We have built a team in India. We built software. We have an SDK for anybody who's building an app inside of science, an SDK, so we can pull all the data out for measurement. We have there's a lot of tech behind the scenes on the science side, which is this measurement and data. And so then we raised another 30 million.
So if you're not like a traditional, like what TenOneTen is, like a fund where we're just investing, we're taking equity. How does that relationship work then with the companies?
So the evolution was initially we incubate. So we call it incubations. We get equity, sweat equity, right? We're going to be on your team. We're going to help you build. And for that, it's equity. And the way I always look at it is, look, we're not Y Combinator. It's not 7%. Right. It's more. It's generally a lot more, right? But if you think about an idea, I always think, why do you think it's worth millions of dollars since nothing's been built yet? Now, what if whatever that equity you give to the incubator, whatever you would to a founder or co-founder, if in a couple months we can actually raise from institutional investors who might price it at 9, 10, 15 million, your ownership percentage may be less, but your equity value is infinitely more.
Right. So that was kind of my question is who is then your perfect,
I want people who have a vision of building something, who have the ability to learn and want to learn. And it's a soft thing. I think all four of us as founders of science kind of look at the individuals like, do they have it? Because of SoftBank, whatever the idea you have, know that there's going to be 5 clones and probably one of them will have way more money than you. So if you want to come to science, what we're gonna do is get there faster and create a moat that money doesn't beat us. That's our thing.
That's terrific. So how do you find people?
On the dance floor many a time. You gotta be a dancer. No, look, our network's massive. People refer. A lot of VCs actually meet companies and say, it's the classic. It's too early. Yeah. I love the idea, but it's too early. It's actually that's not our thing. It's never too early for us because the incubator will take it.
Wait, who just said this? Oh, Paul at Amplify, who said, "Oh, we're a pre-seed fund, but we often tell people they're too early for us, right?"
Yeah, we've think about it. We've done companies with our idea. Again, we don't do that anymore. Maybe it's more of founder has a general direction. I want to do something in religion. That's where Pray.com was. I want to do something in esports. So we'll help them get to the spot. Maybe they may come up with a very specific idea, and they work with us. And over the course of months, it kind of shifts a little. Same genre, but the business is there. So you call it a pivot. We just figuring out the product with us.
So in the fund, are you co-investing?
Yes.
So you're then
then we invest.
If TenOneTen might be a follow-on, and are most of the people coming out of here raising a seed and
we were changed. So the evolution was first 4 years didn't have a fund. The last 2.5 years now we have fund. You come in the incubator works with us. The fund sits here and watches and says, at some point we'll invest. We'll invest $500,000 up to $500,000. 2 million. We'll keep going. We've put over 10 million into Play Versus now.
So,
we did the seed, we did the A, we did pro rata for the B, Liquid Death, we did the seed. Depending on when this broadcasts, we also heavily participated in the A that just closed as well. And so, yeah, we'll support. Now we have capital to support. Right. And there's moments where we had a company literally like they miscalculated something and need $500,000. We're like, well, why tonight? It's because I know everything of the business. Right. And so,
but usually you're then following. Someone else is leaving a next round.
Yeah, for the A,
you're
B.
Flexible.
I'm a flexitarian.
I like that. This is not our space. Like David and I are not CPG. Like, well, broadly building companies is, but like.
Oh, you're in the business of making money.
E-commerce.
I know that.
Tell me more about like what is good growth in e-commerce. How big do you try to get your companies? How do you think about margins in your space?
My general. So there's some general. Some of it's always changing. So margin, you want to be 60%. If you're direct to consumer, because it turns out 20% is going to go to shipping. 20% is going to go to marketing and 20% is going to go to like actually just employing people. So if you're not at least 60, you'll always lose money.
Wow.
Right. So think about these things. 20 is general. They kind of moves here and there. The other part is customer acquisition costs you have to figure out. And people always think that, they'll figure out later. If you don't ingrain that in your DNA today, you'll never get there tomorrow. And we are in a world where the platforms know they're smart because they're the platforms that took advantage of the last platform and they're still around.
How much do you need to be omni-platform, omni-channel today?
So for Liquid Death, we're retail ready. So and we just launched in Boston 60 days. We sold 35,000 cans. I can't sell that online in one little demo, right? We do that online, but there's distribution is definitely key. So it depends on the product. Sometimes like Dollar Shave, we never did retail until we sold because we knew we wanted to own the customer, the identity and who they are and talk to them, have that conversation. The most important thing is for me in brand or CPG is why is it different? There's so much noise. There's so much products. So what's going to grab the attention? Right, Liquid Death.
Yeah, tell us the story.
It
of
looks
Liquid
like
Death.
Beer. I shouldn't even say it. It looks like a beverage of alcohol. It just looks cool. Liquid Death, it murders your thirst. He's actually just similar story of Michael. Agency, super creative. He's just the creativity is beaming, and he thought he's straight edge, which I didn't know what that was, but apparently it's like tattoos, don't drink, but you look like you're rocker.
I don't drink. Could I be straight edge?
If you had a bunch of tattoos, but if you had sleeve tattoos,
okay, I'm not quite. Yeah.
Not quite, but yeah. Look, the reality is the world is sugar drinks. So everything bad for you is marketed to you in this like create Skittles, Carl's Jr., Doritos, Red Bull. It's like aggressive, in your face, loud, and attention. Look at me. Everything good for you is like streams and flows and quiet. Calm and peaceful.
Have you heard of Silence of the Yams?
No.
This was Michael Pollan wrote a column called Silence of the Yams because the yams don't advertise that they are full of vitamin A or
That's the
E
point.
or whatever.
Hey, okay, I'll have to look that one up. But
great.
In the sense of, you know what? In my mind, I would say that each partner has a thing. And if you drink soda, which I used to drink a ton of Diet Coke, like 6 packs a day, which the newest study literally 2 days ago, if you drink 2 cans a day, I used to drink Diet Cokes like water. Turns out, Diet Coke or regular Coke, there's a study came out, longest 400,000 people study, it will reduce your life expectancy. Like, don't do it. So,
you're going to die.
I know, well, not anymore, because now I'm drinking Liquid Death.
Okay.
So,
Great.
in all those little things to say, even if this industry, which by the way is $18 billion in the US of water, up from 17 last year, 16, even a tiny, I win. Now, look at this. When I hold it, what do you see?
Liquid Death?
Yes, when I hold it, it's a social prompt.
How many companies make it through the gauntlet? Like when you start, I'm sure you have a lot.
I'd say thousands of companies. I'd say we probably look at hundreds, I'm sure, a year.
Oh, I meant a different gauntlet.
Oh, gauntlet. So if you
Like-
come in the incubator for every 100 companies that come in through the incubator, 2/3 kind of get to, maybe we might give them money from the fund, 2 out of 3. And
What's
then
like good breakout growth for you? Of like,
I want to see, I think in my brain, I don't know, it's happened once. I think it's going to happen twice. Can we get to 100 million revenue in like 3 years?
Okay.
Right. I want to see in consumer. Like it's hard because it depends if you count the first part of the year as building. So if from the minute I start selling a product, do I think I can get to 100 million run rate or 100? Right. Like I need to see that because if I'm 100, look, it turns out things are still valued at 3 times, 4 times tops rev. And then if it's a really crazy category, someone might pay a little bit more emotionally on top of that. So far, if you look at whether it was Dollar Shave Club or Harry's, or it's just been that number. So forward looking, we're looking, it ends up being this 3 to 4. 4 is on the high, and maybe it goes 5. And then alcohol and spirits has gotten to like 7 and 8. So we're doing some stuff, so it's like, it gets a little, this is a beverage, it's not even water anymore.
Yeah.
So I think might be able to get 8, 10.
This whole podcast is going to have the sound of the pickup. The
Oh, no,
down.
sorry about that. Yeah, so I keep turning. So
You're looking for 100 million.
Yeah, Rev, but it's also, I think, orthogonally. So we have a company called, Get Lambs. Here's the perfect one. Cell phones. Do you believe they cause cancer?
I don't. I don't.
Okay. Do you believe the telcos might be lying to us, the amount of radiation that comes out of that?
No. I think the telcos might, but I don't think the scientists would.
Hold on. Let me hold up with this. Hold up. So Monsanto had scientists and said Roundup was safe. Tobacco companies had scientists that it's so safe. Sugar companies had scientists said it's all safe. The food pyramid's correct, right? All this. Now, I'm not saying they aren't. My point is, I'm confident the demographic.
Just want to question all of science.
The question is there a population out there that says, you know what? They're all lying. Boeing lied to us. Turns out, yeah, they lied to us. Maybe Apple, I'm not saying they are, but last week, timing's perfect. Last week, Chicago Tribune, FCC, they took the same phones, the iPhone 7 and 8 and the 6 and Samsung, to the same labs that they test with the FCC for radiation testing. Guess what? 2x of what's safe and what the FCC allows. So I'm not saying it does or doesn't. What if it did? So we have underwear called Get Lambs. So go to www.getlambs.com that protects you from radiation. It'll be fabric company. It'll be sports bras and sheets. But I don't know. Every study that says if you every study says if you put your cell phone in your front pocket more than 4 hours a day, you reduce sperm count. So is it a coincidence, correlation, or causation that mobile phone growth and fertility globally opposite directions? So I don't have the answer. My point is, I'm going to sell a lot of.
People are going to wear your underwear.
Yes.
I do, sure.
So that's when
we are at science.
Yeah.
See,
talking
it's
about
science.
Hey, I want to get to.
Anyways.
I want to get to one other thing, which is I've heard you talk about the way you help your companies raise money, and that you are just. You said you take the first meetings for them sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
You'll go to the meetings with the CEO.
The quick of it is I have a spreadsheet. I know lots of folks. I think I spend a lot of time with venture. I know not to pitch you consumer. So if you think about time, it's all you have. A startup that's all they have. And an hour in a meeting with a VC, it's actually a big deal. An hour is 10 people, 10 hours, that's your day. And you do 20, that's 2 days you lot. It really adds up quickly. And the reality is you just really want to get to a no. People think they want to get to a yes. The mistake is get to a no fast so you don't waste time. So my job, look, I know most investors, a lot of investors, at least the ones I want to work with. And I think the partner is the most important person, then the firm. In alignment with that, I understand boards, I understand personalities. I've been working and been incubating the company. I know the founder every day. I know their flaws. I know the personality. What's the alignment of the board member, the personality that's going to fit, that's gels that help elevate that founder? And I think we joke about price. I think maybe about getting the right price, but actually I think a lot about the partner that's going to take the board seat. Because if it's all about price and you get an asshole board member, it doesn't matter, right? And so because of that, I can filter better. Every round, I probably ping 70 people, 70-ish investors. Wow. And it could be light. It's a conversation. I was at dinner with 8, 9 investors last night. I lightly pitched everybody. There's 2 investors that are interested in one of the companies. Great, I filtered. Those 2 investors, let me do a call with you for 20 minutes. And I can rattle down exactly the message. Within 20 minutes, are they interested? If they're interested, great, let's have a meeting. Now, once the meeting happens, and this is really interesting. I remember the first meeting with Dog Vacay with Bill Gurley at Benchmark. Peter, what are you doing in the room?
Yeah. What are you doing in the room?
Oh, yeah.
Why are you here?
Yeah, it's weird.
Yes, it
back
is.
then, 7, 8 years ago, it was really weird. Who is this guy? He's your... So I said, look, he's first-time founder. You get pitches all day. I just want to make sure the translation's right.
I'm a first-time founder, let's say. I've never pitched a fancy VC. It seems incredibly hard. I don't know who to go to. I don't know what my pitch should be, and you're going to come with me. I love that.
And it's not like that. It's the order of investors. I know the pace of everybody. Slow, fast. So that person takes certain time. That person's not the decision maker. and just the politics within the firm.
Right.
That person's
rising star.
Yeah, he's the MD, but she's really got the power, or he just lost the deal. They just got decimated in that category, so there's no way they'll do it. There's all the there's so nuance of like bad month, great month, new GB, just had an exit, has done something about before. Oh, used to work at a startup before. Oh, was an angel investor in a company that made money already. And these little things are biases. And then in the meeting, I can read the room, which is I can read the no. I can look around the room and read body language and look at eye contact and look at the way they ask questions and walk out. I've never been wrong, actually. It's crazy. I've had 7,000 no's.
How do you know what a no is? Give us our
Okay, here's my number one.
I know what a no is, but
number one rule, 24 hours.
24 hours is great.
That's it.
24 hours
I don't
is
care if it's a like on a tweet.
Yep.
Honestly, that's engagement.
Yep. I'm thinking about you.
Yes. Within 24 hours of that meeting, they didn't ask for something, scheduling, data point, or reference, information. Literally, I'll accept a like on a tweet. As little as that engagement means they're thinking about you, it's over. You're done. And that to me is these subtleties. But in the room, it's the body language, it's the types of questions, it's this leaning in, all of a sudden there's two partners. Is the partner answering the question for you? Right, defending you,
right.
And it's hundreds of little things, and so that to me, I love that. I love it too. It's like a game to me.
What about creating a little urgency? Because I do think that 24-hour rule, I adhere to it better when I feel like there's a little urgency.
No. And so this is why pacing. Who do we talk to first? Who do we talk to last? I'm gonna give away all my secrets.
Give us more,
because
please.
then
want your secrets.
Listen. Pacing is Ted Wang read a great article as I think Tortoise in the Hare. Like you want everybody at the finish line at the same time. Because what happens and I always tell VCs, if you want to be a great investor, be the first at a term sheet at the terms that everyone agrees on. Because bird in hand usually wins. Nobody sits on a term sheet for a month. Like it just doesn't happen. You will win if you're first. So what you do is you want to make sure term sheets come in about the same time. And I always say, don't really tell everybody where you're at, just in case. Meaning, tell them you're one step behind of where you actually are. So when you
just starting conversations or something.
Yeah, you've already did a set of meetings. We just started setting up meetings. You do the meetings, or you're setting up partner meetings. We're scheduling, right? You do the partner meeting. I think we're doing partner meetings next week. You get a term sheet. We just did the partner meeting because just in case something blows up on that last one, you can't go backwards.
It seems counterintuitive.
I know. Because it's the just in case. The just in case is, remember, term sheet does not mean, as we all know, a done deal. Term sheet is long form. Long form deals, non-starters show up. Board seats, blocking rights, pro rata rights, option tables. And if you've already told everybody, I have a term sheet, I'm signing a term sheet, what leverage do you have anymore? And if you can't walk away from that term sheet, because they shoved an extra board seat in there and they shoved an ESOP in there, they integrated, they shoved something in there. What do? You go back to all the people and say, by the way, sloppy seconds.
Yeah.
I know I told you I didn't like you, but I was drunk. I actually do like you. And could you please come back? Now, how much leverage do you have? None. They're going to start jamming you. Anyways, these little nuances. It's this thing.
Well, I found it interesting. This is my first time on this side of the table, but like the time pressure works both ways. When I feel like there's time pressure, sometimes I just pass.
Correct.
Because I'm like, it's my weekend.
Right.
I'm not giving up my weekend again.
But see, I know that.
Yeah.
I know who is good under pressure and who will walk under pressure and who feels like they're being shopped. I don't shop deals. Yeah. That's really important. Because nobody wants to feel used, right? Ultimately, like I want alignment. If I know you only do things without pressure, certain deals. If you're okay with pressure and like I really want you and you really kind of only rock with a little bit nudge, I'm gonna pressure you. And it's raising I'm pretty good at raising. I've raised like a couple $1 billion.
But you won't shop, meaning like if
I get a term, if I say, and I did this, I've done it a couple of different, it's rare. I've done it a couple times and I say, look, I truly like you. This is the price. This on this and board. And I'm very explicit. Here's the board composition. Here's the ESOP. Like you have to you can't just say price because first time founders don't know these things. It's the details, right? It really matters. If I lay it all out and they say yes, we just did it for liquid death. Here are the terms. 0 people saw the deal. The one person I shared it to, they said yes. when I did a photo bucket, Bill Shrink, Gus Ty over breakfast. He actually trapped me. He's like, Peter, I love you. I finally last week made money. What's the number? If you tell me the number, we agree right now, sign it. We're doing the deal. And I like, and I said a number, and he said, done. I can't walk now. Right. It's over. Right. So it just depends. It's infinite variables. That's why for me, I've seen every scenario, and I'm still learning sometimes. First time founder, how the heck you can do that? Right. And so the advantage is that I'm trying to make it fair. I'm not trying to optimize. It's a big difference. I don't believe it's fair. I'm a big anti-bully person. Like we talked a bit off the record about this. Like there's people out there that are bullies. It's like the one thing I just cannot see somebody being picked on. Don't be an asshole unless they deserve it. But don't be an asshole. Yeah. And like, do what you want. Like, yeah. And that's how I don't work. That's my best thing right now. The last 3 years I figured it's not work. No. I can't imagine doing anything else. Like I don't show up like, oh my God, I gotta work. No. It's like, do what you want to do. I can't wait. Oh my God, I can't wait for the next conversation. I can't wait to, like, I'm so excited about the shit we're doing. And like, when it's bad, I'm like, Tom, please deal with this. Yeah. That's
what I do with Tom. That's what I do with Waxman.
Whatever, one of them. I'm like, no boards. No, I don't want a board. No board.
You don't sit on boards?
No, I just took one. I did one board. I'm like, Tom, you need to take the board. I can't sit in the 3-hour meeting, man. I'm like, no. If it's not fun, I'm not doing it. It's not my. Then good. It's a job. That's good. Nobody wants me. If you catch me working, it's not me. Yeah. My best work is when it's like I really want to pass out this water.
Yeah, you do. Can I try to do a Brex commercial? Well,
I love Brex.
Let me try.
You guys are in Brex?
Yeah, great. You're awesome. Wait a second. Keep going. As long as you're still going.
You're in Brex.
No. We're not investors in Brex. We are happy users of Brex.
No, they're our podcast sponsor. Oh. Keep saying good things.
They're going to be worth billions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I thought you were investors. Too bad you're not investors.
Do you offer them to your startups? Do you give
No, but I think I will.
It should be a startup perk.
Maybe we should ask Brex instead of sponsoring us with dollars to give us just equity.
Oh.
100%. That thing's going to be
nice.
Are you
Yeah. They just opened a restaurant in South Park. Did you see that?
Yeah.
That was funny.
Whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, they get money.
Oh, good. Good reaction.
But yeah. Do you
offer like a package to your startups? Like
AWS
credits,
ton,
that's
everything.
So you should add
ton of everything.
You should add in the Brex.
The shit they get for free is amazing.
They get like $500 of credit from Brex in your startup package. Yeah. And waive fees for life.
Yeah. Yeah. Twilio gives us stuff. Amazon gives us stuff. Microsoft. Everyone gives us stuff. Because and then we get to negotiate usually better than anybody else because it's science. Like,
yeah.
Trust me, it's going to be big.
Good. Love it.
Awesome.
Thank you.
I ramble. I know I ramble.
Thank you so much to all of you who are listening to these shows. Just having listeners is actually very cool. We're trying hard to put out content worth listening to, but feel free to send us feedback or just rate and review, and we'll send you appreciation.